I think Scorsese did something with the Blues too. I don't know if you've seen that stuff or not. But if you have questions, now's a great time to interface with each other. And I really do appreciate you guys reaching out to Michael and inviting this West Coaster, this guy hanging loose over there. You can always catch the live stream, the morning rituals. All of those go ahead and post as public videos with live chat attached to it. It's all intact, so it's like watching the live stream, but on demand for you. So you can watch those anytime you would like. And the trick is that we're taking the very first live stream that we did at the beginning of, we started a few weeks before 2025, but we're taking that little live stream where we were suffering through it like we're doing right now. We're getting better each time. And with the passage of time, the last video of 2025, we're going to take a look at that and examine our posture, our tone, our technique, our everything. We have a rubric that we're going to go through and take a look at what 260 hours of warm-up time, of morning ritual for guitar growth warm-up time actually did for me. And if you want, you can send me your first, and if you're recording, you can take a look at sending me a video of yours if you like, and we can all go through where we're at and just going through we're going through a process of rapid growth, and I think it'll be really cool to just watch it from when we started to when we finish, and then examine that kind of thing. So. Let's see. Oh, you have trouble with the download. Yeah, you don't have to. You can if you don't want to put in all of the information they're asking for, you can just kind of squirrel it out. But you might even get an email with the download link or something like that. I forget exactly how it works, but. It's a really cool binder. It's a really cool session, so I would recommend it. If I can help you get it, if you wanted to email me at jasoncareyguitar@gmail.com. I'm also happy to email it directly to you. So jasoncareyguitar@gmail, and you can say, hey, I want that Welcome to the Blues PDF, and I'll get it right out the door to you. No problem at all. Doing a daily guitar grind inspired by your morning routine. I've uploaded already 40 hours of technique exercises. No way, dude. Are you serious? No way. That's cool. So I'm checking that out. So the other thing that we're doing, right, is all of us as we sort of progress through to YouTube, right? Raul, you've done this on YouTube. So the thing is, like, we're abandoning the ego, and then we're benefiting from actually being together and then learning from each other. And then we found out after we had Mr. Scott K. Fish from Modern Drummer Magazine, talking about Neil Peart and Mr. Michael Shreve from Santana, and having him visit us on a live stream in the morning. It was obvious that we have so much to learn from multiple instrumentalists, and it's just fun to be part of it. Man, I hate all guitar of fake trash quality. I'm gonna have to work out a different epic episode with Mr. Fish. Oh man, I just got through the second part of Michael Shreve's live show. Let me just, I think I have a quote. You've got to hear this quote. I don't know if I shared this. I haven't shared it publicly because Mr. Fish hasn't released the interview yet. You've got to hear this. To me, this is like where the rubber meets the road. Okay, here's one of those I believe that the drums literally give back to you what you give to them. That's Michael Shreve, interview with Mr. Scott Keyfish. Another pull quote that I just grabbed was, "Success comes to you when you totally follow through with yourself." And that's Michael Shreve, interview with SKF, right? Just great stuff. It's stuff that we, it's all of that manna, that food that we're supposed to be, feeding ourselves with. But it's a minor pentatonic, and it's just this basic little scale that we can easily take for granted after having known it for so many years. But we're starting to think we're just walking up from root note, and then walking up from root note to root, and then down to root note. And then couple that with what you already know, but then there's a little bit more story in the downloadable PDF you might enjoy. And counting on 2 and 4, and then setting up that groove of John the Revelator from Sun House. Like that Sun House is just, there's no guitar, but I don't know if I must have listened to that song probably hundreds of times and studied the mechanics of the vibrato in his voice and where he uses the vibrato. And that really changes if you try to emulate, go ahead and try to listen and re-listen, and you try to emulate to where that 2 and 4 is, and then how he's sitting in the pocket in that groove. He loses the groove a couple of times, but that's, it's archaic blues. It's, basically the Delta blues sound. So, something about writing the Book of Revelation or whatever. So it's just really classical content set to the Delta and where it comes from. And he's got his voice is so emotional and so in the pocket and so melodic and so just full of meaning and torture and all of that stuff that comes along with that Delta sound. And there's that wiggle in his voice that you can start to use, and with the guitar when we have. So if we play it straight like that, we don't get that "I've had 9 cups of coffee" feeling. Do you know what I mean? Not worry about speed, not worrying about really anything, getting there quickly, just enjoying the moment of making that simple, reflective melody, right? And chasing that melody down, using the same old scale that we know. And, I don't even know if he sings it in A or what, but you can, easily absorb what he's singing and translate it, or what we would call it, if we had to change keys, we would transpose it from one key to the next on the guitar. But it's really cool. So, epic episode with Mr. Fish. From Victor Wooten. Oh yes, yeah. That's an awesome book. Completely 180 from Jocko stuff. Never be afraid of playing a wrong note. The right one is only a half step away. That's a good one. Yeah. Fortunately for me, I've made a living on that. It is true, man. I agree with that 100%. That's a beauty. That's a good one. I've heard other friends of mine say that, and it's It is true. Now I can't wait to see what you've got going on with your exercises that you've uploaded. That's the first thing I'm going to do when I sit in front of YouTube later tonight. Man, all the guitars are fake here. So does that say Iraq? All guitars are fake here, trash quality. Oh, so here's what I wanted to do. Like I have if you wanted to tune in with me next time, I have a $50 Harmony Stella that's really like fake guitar. It sounds like trash, but then if you couple it with this Delta blues sound, it's really something. You know, you don't really need a whole lot of. I feel like it's arguable, I guess, but I feel like we don't need a whole lot of guitar to be a whole lot of guitar player, right? But I understand the frustration of not having that piece of gear that we're longing for. Totally get that. Totally get it. 100%. So it's let's see if we can. Let's see if we can put that. There's a good note at half step away to principle here. That principle into practice. And I've just dialed in. This is like a Logic Pro guitar tone. So this thing was just one of the legacy Logic sounds. You know, the 70s British, 70s blues guitar. So I'm just going to try to just channel a little bit of this, and I'll try to use this in different octaves and different areas on the guitar, so we're not limiting ourselves to one of the minor pentatonic shapes, but multiple pentatonic shapes. But this, I didn't list all of the shapes for that reason, so there would be a little bit of discovery learning involved too, if you felt like it. In that Sunhouse frame of mind, and really try to be empathetic about where he might be coming from when he's performing those things. He's pretty well known for his percussive guitar playing and slide guitar playing, percussive slide guitar playing, if you can imagine that, and his really deeply emotional and resonating lyrical presentations. Maybe it's more fitting. As we slide it down to from fret 7 to 5, just working on that slide and recognizing that we're descending over fret number 6. Start wrapping it up. Unless you guys want to, unless you have some other things you want to talk about. So let's see. You know, if you have other things you'd like to talk about, we could start working on, you know, like a little bit of a prefacing the next session. It's just pretty much like 1 and 5. So if we're in the key of A, it's just kind of motoring around on the 1, playing 5, and 1 and 6, and 5 and 7 octave. You can, you know, basically play the minor pentatonic or a relative minor scale there if you want to. Is position 1 pentatonic always the group in minor and major keys? So is position 1 pentatonic always? That's a good question. So here's how I think about that in terms of, you know, C major and A relative minor. I'm just starting. We start typically with A with relative minor. Because it's relative to C, the key of C major, and then, you know, C major has no sharps in the flats, and neither does A, even though it's 1 flat 3, 4, 5 flat 7. There are no accidentals, so it's all, you know, there's no C sharp or A, you know, A flat or anything. So 1 flat 3, 4, 5 flat 6, flat 7. I mean, and flat 1. Nope, it's no flat 1. So that would be sort of like the first more open position of that. And then we could extend that to the second position, which would be with the flat 3 in the bass. And then we could run up and grab 4, 5. And then we get that octave up there again. Now I'm borrowing from other areas of the scale. You know? I think if we say that we have A minor pentatonic, there are 5 positions of A minor pentatonic. Right, and then this is position 2. This is another position. Above that would be, this is pretty much an octave above from where we started. But it's all A minor pentatonic. But if we started playing like for example, like this is a really good question because this is the beginning of altered pentatonics for me. Right? So if we start with the mode number 2 of mode pentatonic, and we call it the 1. Now we're in C, and that's C major pentatonic. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and then 1. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1. I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. Right. Something like that, right? But then if we start with this next one, what if we call this the root note? Right? What if we call the D note? It's got the 1, 2, 4, 5, flat 7, 1, 2, 4, 5, flat 7. Raoul, alright. What amp are you using, and are you using any pedals? Oh, that's a good question. I'm using an amp that's just built into, oh, are you asking Raoul that? What amp are you using? It's the, it's just a legacy setting in like Logic Pro. I use Logic Pro 11, and I have, we've got an Apogee sort of like the Symphony interfaces in the shop, and so I'm just using that stuff. I've got a little compression on the Symphony interface, and a little EQ on that, so it all hits before it, the input, AD, analog to digital conversion happens ahead of that, and then, or ahead of the DAW anyway, and then, I guess it doesn't happen ahead of that, I guess it happens ahead of the DAW, and then it goes into Logic that way, maybe there's an LA two-way or something there, and then there's, an amp, one of the Logic amplifiers. Those are great, they're as good as, I think, as, I don't know, maybe they're as good, maybe they're not as good as Neural DSP. You have to work a little harder to get them to sound, again. Neural DSP out of the box is, it's just ripping. Excuse me, they just rip. They know what they're doing, but you can still, to me, hear the difference between that and guitar input, which is obviously, it's like the difference between stopping at your favorite handmade pasta place and the 7-Eleven. You can still get something that looks like pasta at 7-Eleven, but it's not really Parmesan cheese or whatever that you might like in fresh raisins and stuff, and free range chicken. So I don't know. I think I like it for what it is. I think it's really cool to be able to play the things in the box, and it's definitely useful. Oh, Studio One with a Line 6 interface. Oh, how does that sound? Is that, now I'm hungry, yeah, me too. That's a great question. I don't think, here's what it sounds like with a guitar wide open. And the thing that you can really tell where you distinguish this between an amp and the guitar is when you ask two notes to ring together, when you bend one note away from another one, and this kind of bend, there's a little bit of like, some artifacting that happens in that squeeze as you start to get away from it. But if you really listen to it, actually I don't know if the last update's downloaded yet. It's it's pretty good. In my mind, that's really good. I don't have any, it's pretty much dry, maybe a little verb on it, but it's really dry. And it's not like we're trying to sugarcoat it. It's just really ripping dry. And everything's wide open, so the treble's wide open. This is like the Memphis, this is the Memphis circuitry in this guitar. It's like the last one that they made in Memphis. I guess it's a lot better than I thought it was, actually. Us out because it helps us understand, if you like it, it helps us understand what our trajectory for this, basically for our channel is going to be for the remainder of 2025. So all of this stuff where we engage, we'll do more of, and if there's less engagement, we're just going to keep changing it up until we get the things that we really want to do. And blues, for me, in this particular session, is Son House is just doing this John the Revelator, and it's just always just two and one beat. Okay, so there's listen to his vocal performance and try to repeat that, reproduce that on the guitar. There's a little bit of grind and growling there, so it requires repeated listenings for someone like me to just sort of get in there and try to find all of the little wavy nuggets that are just to be dug out of there and placed on the guitar, low stress allows us to be transparent in completing our musical thought. And this is a perfect song for that, at least for me. I have a Fender Deluxe Reverb with a Klein, Plum and delay. Oh, get lost messing with it all. Yeah, there's some strategy to having just a good guitar, a good amp, or a cheap guitar, a good amp, and a good cable or whatever. Those three things are are basic. And sometimes the way I've heard people talk about it, like I'm really interested in hearing Raoul's. Hopefully Raoul's has line 6. Raoul, if you go back and chase him down on the live chat here, he's been uploading. I didn't realize he was doing this, but he's been uploading video guitar workouts, like really raw, and that's what we're really looking for here now. We're looking for these little nuggets that we can grab from each other. We're learning from each other, and then we'll go. But I'm really curious to see what he's got for a sound on his YouTube channel. Definitely interested in that. And so I've heard people talk about it. Mentors, like, I think I've asked the same thing. Like, I get lost in like guitar synthesizers, and I get lost in all of the tech and the line, and the switching, and then all of the routing of all of it. And I'm not very good at any of that. My brother's super really good. Some people are really good with that stuff, and for me, I like to have that transparent sort of like great guitar, great cable, Lugami cable or whatever, and then a great amplifier. In this case, a great digital audio workstation amplifier. It doesn't quite get as, it's not as woolly or dynamic. You can't go from, like, have it wide open, like on my boogies you can go wide open and then just play really nice and light. And then the more you lean into the string, you get more and more woolly, Well, I guess it does, and I'm just not being sensitive enough for that. Yeah, I'll get the right fret eventually. But, if I wanted to stand in front of the amplifier and engage in a feedback loop to keep the note ringing for, ever, I kind of miss out on that, having the amp set up in a microphone, on a stand and stuff, where I can just go and interact with the feedback cycle. That's something that's really dreamlike, and it's definitely worth mastering something like that technique in my mind. It's one of the best parts about playing the creamy, woolly electric guitar is that you can make that one note last forever, and then just get out of there. What's a good? Not a good sound quality. Sorry, I'm still interested in what you've got going on, though. I see. You've been such a huge contributor to the live chat on the morning ritual. I hear that. I'm going to continue to help promote what you're doing on your live chat, on your channel, and I can't wait to see what you're doing with them. All right, so what's a good sound? Just the microphone from the camera, Sony HDR CX. Sony's great stuff. Sony's just awesome stuff. It gets pretty woolly though. It does. I really wanted to focus on just that dry, clean sound with a nice 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 4, and 1. Hey, how is the video quality here? Is the lighting too dark? How's the lighting in this live feed? Is it working out? I'm definitely going to check out Raoul's channel, Mr. Werner. Very good. All right, so the theory is if it's pleasing to the eye. So one of the things that Don Stratton used to say, if it is good, if it sounds good, it is good. And I guess seeing goes for looks, right? But then there's play this guitar. It's got like that throaty, like that throaty neck pickup. I have a Les Paul with the burst fibers in it. So if you haven't downloaded it yet, you might find. I know this is just this thing way out of control. This live stream is way out. But I just definitely wanted to thank you for being here tonight and helping me get this other angle figured out so that we can all be working together in a new and exciting way. Work to continue to improve this situation as we proceed through 2025 together. And if you haven't already been, I'd love to see you tomorrow morning and every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for our wonderful morning ritual for guitar growth. And I think more blue notes, please. The blue is perfect for your shirt. All right, now I get it. A little slow sometimes, but it is okay. So here's a question. So I was always taught that the blue note is actually the flatted fifth, that the minor third was, while blue it wasn't actually like the blue note. Have you heard anything about that? So it becomes the blues scale when we add that minor pentatonic scale, when we add that flatted 5. Now the other thing that we do with the blues scale is we do that, Bacardi third thing where we might be finishing a piece of music that was written in minor. So here's so you can blur the lines between the flatted three. I mean, it's different than giving the flatted three a little attitude. Thing that I don't think has anything to do with that flatted fifth, which is the, you know, the tritone. So, you know, if you had any, let's see, if you have any thoughts about that, I'd love to hear them. Flat five is all I ever heard. All right, flat five is the root, is there's a lot of room and a lot of latitude in that sort of music. Keeping it focused and keeping it spiritually grounded is one of the most challenging things for me. And to keep each note in succession sounding as if it were divinely inspired. So go ahead and give that Some House a re-listen. That Some House track, the John the Revelator, re-listen, and just let me know what you think about it. And I will hopefully see you all tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard for the Morning Rich Book Gift for the Pedro. And thank you so much for being here. I'm going to jump. I'm going to go check out Raul's stream or Raul's channel tonight. And forward to that. Yeah, all right. Well, I hope you guys had a wonderful time. I know I did. And until we meet again, I wish you happy picking.
Right. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is Memorial Day, happy Memorial Day, and we are doing Dancing in the Streets for Cornell 77 by the Grateful Dead. As you guys know, I'm doing a track from Cornell 77 every few videos or so to say thank you for all of you that have been with me for this journey and have subscribed to this channel, and especially you who have subscribed at my website, guitargeek.com, and taken my courses and lessons from there. I sincerely appreciate it. So I chose this one for Memorial Day because I know not everybody who watches this lives in America, but most of you do. I can see the demographics. I'm obviously in America. I'm in Baltimore. And Memorial Day has always been the start of summer, where you take a day and remember the people that allow us to do what we do, the ones who sacrificed everything, so that we can do this, so that we can go to shows, right? So that we can kick off the summer concert series, go on the boat, do whatever it is you want to do. It's usually the official start of summer. And that's how this song starts, you know, the start of summer, and then it mentions the different cities. And this is such a weird time right now. And I thought, what a perfect song for this, because in my opinion, this band is just as important or relevant, has just as much fiber in the American story as any other band or art form that has come out of this country. And this song in particular is a celebration of all of us getting together, literally dancing in the streets, realizing that at the end of the day, most of us want the same thing. Most of us have more in common than we do apart. And it's just a reminder to celebrate each other while we're here, and you know, the liberty that we have, and enjoy this great music. So here we go. This is Dancing in the Street, live part, Cornell University, Ithaca, New York, Grateful Dead, 5877. Just got back from the run, ready to go. Phil. Phil stands out here like a freight train. He is pushing this thing all over the place. So far, it's a vamping A7. You know, neighborhood A. You can chromatically, cross over your major 7, your flat 7, whatever. It's vamping it, right? But he is going back and forth between like really pushing all over the place. It just stands out. Crank this one up. And all the little lines in here that, root, flat 7, major 6, strings mix up. Now I know, so I've learned this song before because I think Marvin Gaye wrote this tune. And so I had to learn it for some band or wedding or something along the way. I'm going to let it play for a little bit, but I want you to listen, not just to the groove of the band, but I want you to listen to how great of a melody this is. It really, truly deeply is a strong melody that really pulls your ears when it changes. Change to a 4. D7, right? You can 7th everything. Then, when it goes into the changes, this is your classic functioning secondary dominant starting on the 3. So we're in A. Doesn't matter what you wear. C sharp, right? My favorite change in all music. Functions down, 5 to 1, circle of fifths, down to F sharp minor. So now you're back in key, right? Your 6 minor chord. Functions over though, even though it's not dominant. I guarantee someone in here is making that A to an A sharp every now and again to lead up to B. If it's not in there, it's not even run right through that thing. I'm telling you, keyboard players can look over and say, see, you're not just a guitar player all the time, sir. Yeah, you got B7, so that's 2, which functions to E, 5, 1, E7, which functions back to A, 1. Now, let me show you some of this melody. I'm going to do it kind of phrase by phrase here, and yes, I realize I gotta let it play, and I promise I will, but this is a great, great example of if you learn the melody to every song, you will learn how to connect chords, connect the harmony with melody. And it's mixing major and minor. It's classic Jerry stuff. Even though he didn't write this tune, I'm sure he's going to use this melody in the actual lead because that's kind of like what he does, and that's kind of like why I love him. But here, let me show you some of this. to C sharp, major third, and when you're going low and coming back up to your tonic, there is G, flat 7. So you got this 7. Right? So it's always that 1, 2, 3 and the flat 7. Now listen, when it goes to the 4 chord, what do we have here? Then it goes. So, oh yeah, I gotta remember this. It really stays on the D7. So it goes up to the 4 to tag it for that all we need. But then as it goes down, it outlines. There it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. That is a C. It outlines the flat 7 of the 4th chord. And now, instead of going to the flat 7 of A, the G, it goes down to F sharp, which is the 3rd of the 4th chord. And of course, that's the major 6th of A. So the switch is from right, that flat 7 to you hear it? That's it. That's the key. If you're thinking a key-centered approach, like you're singing, that is how they're singing it, right? Like that A is still everything. It is A,